All right, Rabbi, say good morning, let us begin. Meretz Hashem, we are continuing. Maybe we'll even finish today. No, we're not going to finish today. Parak Aleph of Oros HaTeshuva, because otherwise we'd have to rush a little bit, I think. So we are picking up on page 12. A really beautiful piece here. So again, the Rav Kook writes as follows. He says, Acharei HaTeshuva HaTivis Ba'a HaEmunis. So after, remember what he called Tshuva Tivis. Now what's Tshuva Tivis? Tshuva Tivis is, as we spoke about before, this innate Tshuva. So remember again, there are two different forms of innate Tshuva. There's Tshuva Tivis Gufnis and Tshuva Tivis Nafshis. So again, innate physical tshuva, innate spiritual tshuva. And now Rav Kook says we move to something a little bit deeper. What he calls tshuva ha'emunis, which I guess for lack of a better term, what we'd call is faith-based tshuva. What's faith-based tshuva? This is very beautiful. Hi achaya ba'olam imkar ha'masores v'hadas. It is a tshuva that is motivated from literally tradition and religion. Shehi Osekes harbe b'tshuva. Much of Judaism is very much focused on the concept of tshuva. Right? Much of Judaism is very much focused on this yisod of tshuva, how tshuva works. That tshuva works. What tshuva is able to accomplish. HaTorah mafticha l'shavei pesha slicha. The Torah promises that if you do tshuva, you will be forgiven. And I will say, this is one of the tenets of our faith. That if I do tshuva at the end of the day, I will be forgiven. So this is very beautiful. So what is Rav Kook saying over here? Rav Kook is saying is, in general, right, we are confident to take on things we know we can accomplish and reticent to take on things that we feel we can't accomplish. That's just human nature. Okay, there are exceptions. There are people who are very goal-oriented and they're willing to take on everything. But most of us, even if we're not totally risk-averse, at the end of the day, still want to take on things that we have a shot at accomplishing. Rav Kook says something amazing. A lot of times the reason we don't become Bali Tshuva is because we don't believe we can actually be forgiven. I know about tshuva, I've learned about tshuva, I've heard about tshuva, it's fantastic, it's beautiful, it's not for me. I'm too broken, I'm too damaged, I'm too far gone. And Rav Kook says, there's nothing further from the truth. Tshuva is accessible to anyone and everyone. Tshuva emunis, right, this faith-based tshuva, is a tshuva that is motivated by the belief in tshuva itself. I believe in tshuva. I believe that I can be forgiven. Rav Kook goes on, according he writes, he says, Chatos hayochid v'atzibor nimchim al yedei tshuva. I believe that the collective sin of Klal Yisrael, national sin, and my individual sins can be wiped out by tshuva. So I'll say, isn't this incredible? That so often the reason I don't really become a Baal Tshuva is because I don't believe in it. It's not that I don't believe in tshuva. I believe in tshuva. What don't I believe in? I don't believe in tshuva for me. And tshuva emunis is a tshuva that is motivated in the belief that tshuva could even work for someone like me. Tshuva could work for Klal Yisrael no matter how compromised we are, and tshuva could work for me as an individual no matter how compromised I am. Hanavim meleim heim dvarim niskavim al dvar tshuva. You know the Nevi'im, the prophets, Tanakh, Gemara, Mishnah are filled with the incredible, with testaments or descriptions of the incredible power of tshuva itself. Bichlal, kol erech hatochacha hatoris banui al hatshuva ha'emunis. So also this is very beautiful. So really, Rav Kook says, the entire real construct of tshuva, the biblical construct of tshuva, is fundamentally built on the notion of tshuva emunis. Now, if you look at footnote number 15 over here in the edition that I sent you, see, he says over here, he says, Harambam beparakei kasav she'ilu lo haisa li adam bebechirasa achavshis ha'efsharis lashav b'tshuva heich lanu mitzvah lanu aydi hanavim asekach v'al tasekach. Hetivu darkechem ve'al telchu acharei rishachem v'mitchilas briyaso kvar nigzar alav al todaso. So essentially in the footnote, he explains over here as follows. Quotes the Rambam. The Rambam says in Hilchos Tshuva, how do you know that tshuva is a possibility, right? How do you know that tshuva is a real possibility? That's some like, I don't know, pie in the sky idea. He says, if it wasn't the Torah, the Nevi'im, right? So much of Navi is filled with the prophets telling us, do this, don't do this. How much of the Torah is filled with HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling us, do this, don't do this. The only way those commands make sense is if you have free choice. And ultimately, again, so once I believe I have free choice, then Tshuva Emunis says, believe in the power of Tshuva for yourself. Don't just believe in Tshuva in the abstract, but believe in Tshuva, believe in the power of Tshuva for yourself. As we delve deeper into this Tshuva Emunis, there are details, many details. Asher ach klalehem hayisodim darshim harchavas diburim ubeurim rabim. And ultimately, again, to fully understand all of its principles requires an incredible amount of in-depth exploration. So this is now our in Rav Kook's construct. It's our second level of tshuva, but I would really call it. It's like really the third, because the first category of tshuva tivis was broken into two, and now tshuva emunas rabosai. So again, Rav Kook says that one of the greatest pitfalls in life is we believe in the power of tshuva. We just often don't believe in the power of tshuva for ourselves. Tshuva emunis says, believe in the power of tshuva to affect personalistic absolution and forgiveness in yourself, no matter what you have done. There is nothing that tshuva can't fix. Now again, there are caveats to that. Sometimes tshuva is able to accomplish X and sometimes able to accomplish Y. But there is no such thing as tshuva having the inability to forgive. Tshuva emunis means I believe in the power of tshuva to absolve me, to cleanse me from all that is broken. Incredible. Let's at least let's take a peek at the next level. The third and final category of tshuva in this construct, says Rav Kook, is what he calls tshuva sichlis. Tshuva sichlis. Now, this is very interesting. So we would call this, I guess for lack of a better term, you'd call it intellectual tshuva, right? Tshuva of the seichel. Now, again, I will say, it's interesting because, generally, especially like when we learn Chassidus, so often it sounds strange, but like, not that Rav Kook is Chassidus, but again, it's all very much based on the same Torah's Hanistar, on the same like deeper hidden dimension, the pnimius of Torah. So often when we speak about intellect, intellect is often seen as the I don't want to call it the enemy of growth, but to a certain degree, sometimes intellect holds us back a little bit. So it's interesting to see that in Rav Kook's tshuva model, remember, this is a progression. So it starts with innate physical tshuva. Then it goes on to innate spiritual tshuva. Then it goes on to tshuva of emuna, or emuna tshuva. And now kind of as we're making our way up, we get to this last level of what he calls tshuva sichlis. So what is this? And this, we'll just read this line, then we'll pick up with this tomorrow, Miras Hashem. He osa shekvar rachshala es hativis ha'emunis shekvar ba l'madrega ha'elyona. So again, says Rav Kook so beautifully, before we even get into defining what it is, it's important to understand that when does it occur? You could only get to tshuva sichlis after you've acquired the previous levels. You need tshuva tivnis, gufnis, nafshis, tshuva emunis. Once you pass all these other levels, then you're able to go ahead and get to tshuva tivis, because shekvar ba lemadrega. Sichlis. Thank you. Shekvar ba lemadrega ha'elyona. Because ultimately, again, you've gotten to this highest level. What this highest level actually is, to be continued tomorrow. So we'll stop over here for today. In tomorrow we will finish Parak Aleph, this last darga of tshuva, and again, then we'll round out our first tshuva construct from Rav Kook. Incredible. Shkoyach.